Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks. Welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We've got 3 locations that we can help you out when your computers are not acting properly. So please tell your friends and family about us. In Lincoln, the original 27th and Pine Lake Road. In Omaha, 168th and Burke, and of course in Papillion, the newer location there on 84th and Highway 370. Want to welcome in all of our listeners in Nebraska and in Iowa through WHO in Des Moines. Glad to have you with us, guys. Appreciate you joining us. And we have a lot of ground to cover today, so buckle in. This is going to be one of those shows that goes by stupid fast because there's a lot happening. Okay, so first of all, I would be remiss if I did not say it's kind of last call for the Schrock Safe upgrade here. I mean, this show is airing live on the 30th. So tomorrow is October 1st. If you're hearing this in Lincoln or Des Moines, you hear it a week after because the show airs Sunday morning at 7. So if you want to call in to 866-496-8772, the time to do that is Sunday morning at 7, okay? Because that's when we're here. Otherwise, it goes to the service center and we still help you, but this is the time to call. So boy, this upgrade, we don't know if it's going to come out October 1st. It could come out tomorrow. We don't know if it's going to come out on Halloween, but the big October Microsoft update for Windows 10 is coming out, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. There's nothing you can do to slow it down. Microsoft promises this one is going to be better than the last time, but they've already released some situations in which your computer will fail to install the update. Okay, then they can't fix that. It's just going to fail. That's all there is to it. Meanwhile, we had confirmation from our friends at Ingram Micro, one of our component suppliers, that the tariffs are going to take effect on PC components at 10%. In fact, they already have taken effect on all imported PC components at 10%. That has not worked its way through the retail channel yet. That's fancy business speak for saying the people that have stuff for sale in their warehouse haven't yet figured out that the price for the next batch is going to be higher, so they haven't raised their prices yet. They might sell. It's not like gas. You ever notice that when the price of gas goes up, the price of the gas that the gas station has in the ground goes up. But when the price of like PC parts goes up, we have to sell through everything first, and then they raise the price. I don't know. Maybe it's because one's a commodity and one's not. I don't know. But the bottom line is normally, okay, a 10% cost on a $600 computer is about $60. A 10% cost on a holiday special is $150. And as you know, if you've been listening for a while, we sell the holiday special systems at cost. So this threw up a big flag because we're going to start that sale around October, and we plan to launch it at $14.99. We are trying to do what we can do to, you can't get rid of the tariff, obviously, so you have to basically get somebody to take a loss, to give you a better deal for buying the parts, or we can start buying parts right now, which is what we've started to do. Now, the thing is, with the holiday special parts, we already know what the desktop is going to be. But here's the thing. At this point, we have no idea how many parts we can get that are not going to be impacted by the tariff. And once we get hit with the tariff, guys, we're going to have to raise the price $150. That's just how it goes. So what I'm here to tell you today is we are in no way ready. We have no marketing materials. We have no catalogs done. All that stuff is we still have to do the photo shoot for the holiday special. So, I mean, we're still, because the laptop isn't going to be here, the demo laptop, until October, mid-October. So we can't even do the photo shoot till then. But in a wonderful, gotta love lobbyists, whole computer systems are not impacted by the tariffs. Only PC components are impacted by the tariffs. So we have confirmed that this year we're going to be going with a Dell base model laptop that we're going to tear the guts out of an upgrade, right? So the Dell base model laptop has no tariff, but all the parts that we buy to make the Dell laptop fast will have tariffs. So we're trying to figure out exactly how that's going to impact. But the laptop shouldn't be impacted nearly as much as the desktop will be. So I guess here's what I'm saying. The shops have the specs for these things. They could answer the question if you call and ask. It's not on the website. It's not. If you don't know what the holiday special is, don't even worry about this right now. But if you are somebody who has been waiting for the holiday special desktop unit, that you know you're going to buy one, it might be a good idea to call now and buy it now, is all I'm saying. because you're going to avoid the tariff. If the tariff comes through and we can't find some way to absorb that in our channel somewhere, or get our suppliers, maybe if we slow down the delivery a little bit, because we've been way back in the beginning, way back in the day, holiday special lore. The holiday special was something that we took all the orders from October and November, and then we delivered the computers in late December, all of them. And we would sell like 150 computers. Well, logistically, because they're all built by hand, I mean, we have a team of like 15 people spread between 3 locations. So, building 150 computers in a 2-week period, and then especially if, you get a defective part, and you're like, oh gosh, we have to rush ship, we can't get the part. Now what do we do? It's a nightmare. So what we started to do with our suppliers was contract, hey, we agree we're going to buy this many at this price, but we want them delivered over time in increments so that we can build the computers over time. It gets you your computer faster. It also means we don't have to have an epic build-a-thon. There was, Thor, you might get more employees to show up for the build-a-thon if there was a pony keg in here. I'm just saying. I'm like, I don't know if building computers while you're intoxicated is a good idea. I'm not so sure about that one. So bottom line, guys, we're going to work on the details on the back end. It may change some of the way that the sale works a little bit, but we're going to try to keep that price at $14.99, which it has been $14.99 since 2001. And so just the quick hits, if you haven't heard what the Holiday Special Desktop is, the Holiday Special Desktop is a complete package. We only sell during the holiday season. We sell 150 units between laptop and desktop total. That's it, because we sell them at cost. Why do we do such a crazy, stupid thing? Because once you get a Holiday Special Desktop, this is going to be the computer that you use for the next decade. Literally, it is so ridiculously over-spec'd for what you're using it for in most cases. Some people are power users and they get the Holiday Special, and for them, they're just really thrilled. They like it. But for the average person, this thing lasts like 8 to 10 years. You're not going to have to buy another computer for that long, which means you're a Schrock customer for 8 to 10 years, which means we're going to keep that computer with you, and we're going to tell you keep it under warranty. If anything goes wrong, we'll fix it for free. There's no reason to go anywhere else. And then that allows us to have a relationship with you as a customer. And then over time, we can provide service that you appreciate, that you value, and then we can sell you service, as opposed to continuously relying on selling you a new computer every 18 months, which is like what Dell and HP do. We want to sell you the service. We want to have that long-term relationship. And honestly, it's easier for everybody involved if the hardware stays the same. Okay? So that's why we do it. But we can't go crazy and do it like all year long, or we'd go bankrupt. So it's 150 units. That's it. This year's Holiday Special Desktop is the first. Well, I guess I shouldn't say the first. There was a huge processor upgrade last year with the Ryzen chips. We have another processor upgrade this year, but everything else is upgraded as well. The Holiday Special Desktop has a 1 terabyte solid state hard drive. Yeah, like in that. No more compromising between fast storage and a large storage, but it still comes with the 2 terabyte safe and stored backup drive. Just so you have a backup of everything in case one of the drives goes down. You're not looking at a data recovery. Number 2, it's going to come with a Ryzen 3 2600 processor. This is the new Ryzen 3 that's got all of the graphics, the Vega graphics integrated, which is amazing. You can also upgrade to a Ryzen 5 or a Ryzen 7 if you want to, for very good prices. The last one that we talked to a customer about took the Ryzen 7 because it was only like $300 more to get a processor that was 3 times faster. So it made sense. A lot of those things are going to make sense this year, especially when you consider the thing comes with 32 gigabytes of RAM. Now, let me soak that in for a second. The base model comes with 32 gigs of RAM. Most computers, every other computer we sell at Schrock, the biggest one on the shelf standard comes with 8. You can upgrade them, but they come with 8. That's pretty much 8 to 12 is what you get right now. This has 32. It's upgradable to 64 if you wanted to. Why you would need to, there's no reason to, but you could do it if you wanted to. It comes with a monitor. This is what they call the complete package. It has the monitor with the built-in speakers, the wireless keyboard, mouse, the whole bit, whole Anchorito for $14.99. Okay. Now we don't know what's going to happen with the tariffs. This is a really, I put it up on Facebook the other day just to kind of introduce the concept, and I got a couple questions from people that we answered. And the specs are on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where we have people listening and watching the program right now. Welcome, Facebook users. I appreciate having you here. We're going to talk about how your data got breached here shortly. I have a conspiracy theory about this, about that story. I think there was more going on than anyone would caring to release at the time. So I'll tell you what my conspiracy theory is, and we'll see. It'll either be one of those things that I just never talk about again, or it'll be one of those moments where it's like, we'll see the story 3 weeks from now, and I called it, guys. This is it. This is why you listen to the show. You know, you can hear all the stuff first. So we got a lot of great stuff to go on today. So basically, tariffs are coming. They are going to impact PC sales. There's no end in sight in these tariffs right now. These are Chinese tariffs. So it's not a NAFTA tariff that, there looks like there might be a NAFTA deal going on. We might get some of those tariffs taken away or fixed up or whatever. But this is the China trade war thing. So this is the downside to tariffs, and farmers, especially farmers in Iowa, have been feeling this with the soybeans and whatnot. But, no matter how you look at it, it is what it is. We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna move forward, and we're gonna do what we always do. We're gonna build amazing computers for the holiday season this year, and we're gonna do it at an unbelievable price that nobody else can match. Because the same computer from Dell, and we're gonna do this again, but every year we spec it out against Dell on their website, and every year it's like a $3,000 computer from Dell, and we're selling it for $14.99. So if it's $100 more, it's still a great deal. But I'm just saying, if you're going to buy one of these, if this is something you've been waiting the whole year for, and there are customers who have been waiting the whole year for it, I would recommend you do it soon, like very soon. I have no idea when we're going to start to see the price increase on the tariffs. It's going to impact all PC components. So solid state drives, memory, motherboards, cases, processors, everything. Unless you buy a completely assembled computer that was assembled overseas and shipped here, which of course, doesn't that just smack the small business? Why would you do that with the tariff? Come on. I mean, you're just beating us up with the tariff now. I get that. If you're gonna tariff it all. Because seriously, how many, if you're gonna, it's a lobbyist thing, I'm sure of it. Anyway, I'm gonna stay out of the politics. 866-496-8772. All right, so also coming up on the program today, I mentioned the Schrock Safe upgrade. We're going to talk about that for those of you who have been under a rock and don't know what that is. Facebook, 50 million user accounts breached in a data breach. That's a biggie. We're going to talk about that. Fun article from Fast Company. We don't get too many articles from Fast Company we cover on the program, but Tim, what's his name? He has a hyphenated name. Tim Berners-Lee tells us his radical new plan to upend the World Wide Web. Okay, so he's got a radical plan to upend the internet. Before you laugh this guy off, this guy is the grandpappy of the existing internet. Yeah, he's the guy that came up with the idea, and he doesn't like what Google and Facebook and Amazon are using the internet for, and how they're exploiting your data and your information and monetizing it for their own gain without giving you anything back. He has a plan to turn that around, and in the process, if his plan works, it's going to blow up Google, Amazon, all the existing business models on the internet of the conglomerates are going to be completely blown up. And it's going to literally be a digital revolution if this comes to pass. So I thought it's important. It's complicated. We're not going to go into the weeds on it, but it's important that I at least say, hey guys, a decade from now, there could be a whole new internet. So, back off the Google stock, Oh yeah. And there are consequences for hacking now. FBI is sending people to prison for stealing secrets. So no more Snowden clean getaways. Now that people are getting punished for that. And then we have an update. You remember the hacky hack? The hacky hack teenager that decided he was going to hack into Apple and got into their servers and compromised their servers and saved all the data on his computer hard drive in a folder called hacky hack. Well, we have an update on his legal situation, the hacky hacker. And then, because you all wanted to know, how much does it cost to charge a smartphone for a year? Exactly in dollars, how much? Tens of dollars? Hundreds of dollars? What is that smartphone costing you in your power bill? And why should you charge it like at somebody else's house? All right, guys. So we got a lot of fun stuff to do. 866-496-8772. All right. The Schrock Safe upgrade is a program. I mentioned this when it came on the air here, but basically in October, Microsoft is going to be releasing a brand new version of Windows. This is not an update. This is an upgrade. This is a brand new version of Windows, very much like when you went from Windows 7 to Windows 10 before. This is going from Windows 10, one version of it, to a new version of Windows 10, a new version of Windows 10 that will have its own sets of problems, its own incompatibilities with different software. For example, the last version of Windows 10 made QuickBooks 2007 obsolete. Before that, you could run QuickBooks 2007. So some poor business owner out there who bought his, $500 QuickBooks program in 2007 and has been skating along, for a decade plus now on it, woke up one morning to say his computer got rebooted for an important update, and now his QuickBooks won't run. Oops, I hope you weren't planning on invoicing anybody today. All right, so here's the deal. I believe last week on the program, we had something like 800 of these available, and I warned you that this was going to happen, that we were going to see a dramatic drop in the available quantity of safe upgrade licenses. We're down to 56 as of right now. I'm going to control refresh this to make sure it's actually not zero, because I looked at it yesterday. Yep, no, 56. So it's 56 copies remaining. So if you have not purchased a copy yet, or if you haven't bought enough copies, you need one copy for each computer that you use. What Schrock Safe Upgrade does is it installs this huge Microsoft update the exact same way we would do it on the bench in the service center. It's going to download, it's going to make sure your computer's hard drive is good first. And then if your hard drive is good, the next step is it's going to make sure your third-party software is all up to date, your Java, your Flash. We don't want your Windows 10 update to fail because you're running Adobe Acrobat 2 or something stupid like that that got automatically installed when you tried to install that Windows XP game that you knew wasn't going to run anyway. So we make sure all of your third-party software is current so you don't have any roadblocks there. Next up, we check your antivirus software to make sure you're running good antivirus, and then we warn you appropriately if there's something that needs to be addressed. Then we move forward into the update itself. Rather than downloading it from Microsoft servers where the unwashed masses are downloading it from, we give you your own private special server. It's kind of like when you go to the airport and there was like a whole lounge you could sit in, right? I've never flown first class in my life, so I've seen the doors to these supposed lounges. There could be nothing behind them. It could be like you open it up and you step off a cliff. I don't know. But if you pay a lot of money, you're supposed to have this special lounge. We just flew to Orlando the other day. Now the special lounge was like a special section of seats off to the side in the terminal, so you didn't have to like sit next to the people in coach, I guess, while you waited for the plane. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Well, you get your own special first-class server to download this from. In fact, we have 3 servers this time because, as you might remember last time, a lot of people downloaded it all at once, and it led to some unavailability. We were trying to keep up with the demand, so we expanded the servers out to 3 this time to make sure we'd have plenty of bandwidth to get everybody downloaded. Now, the update will get downloaded to your computer and installed in this controlled environment. If something goes wrong, if the update fails to install, if the update reboots your computer and your computer doesn't boot back up again, if your computer reboots and all of your data is gone, basically there's a warranty on the hardware of the computer. Data recovery is never a warranty. I want to preface that. But if the problem that happened last time was it just never moved the data. So the data was still there. It was in the old Windows folder, and we were able to move it into the current folder. That's not a data recovery. That's just finding files and moving them. So basically that one is not a data recovery. So problems like that, you have a warranty for now. Now, if we flip this around the other way, if you don't do Safe Upgrade and you just allow your computer to do its merry thing, what's going to happen is the update at some point in the month of October or even November, depending if it's released late in the month, your computer's going to download this update, and it's going to install this update at a time of its choosing, and it's going to reboot your computer. 80% of you will be just fine. So I don't want to give you the impression this is a big scare fest. 80% of you are going to be just fine. It's that 20% of people that have unusual high-powered builds. Builds that not... See, Microsoft tests this software against the standard types of computers that people have. If you have an old piece of junk HP that a million other people have, well, they've tested it with that. It'll work. It's certified on the junk computer. If you have a Maserati that not a lot of people have, they may not have gotten around to testing it on a Maserati yet. You could have problems. So if you have a holiday special from last year, it's recommended you get Safe Upgrade. If you have a really old laptop that's been patched along to Windows 10, like if you have a Toshiba Satellite, for example, or let me think of some other old ones. A Samsung laptop. They haven't sold a lot of those recently. So they were hot a couple years ago. What else was there out there that I see on the bench that I'm like, what is this doing in here? If you have a Compaq, I mean, come on. If you have something like that, a Gateway, I've seen Gateway laptops still. if you have one of those kind of computers that aren't in business anymore, you might want to get the safe upgrade to make sure the upgrade takes. Now, here's the thing. If your computer is unable to process the upgrade, so if you buy safe upgrade and your computer can't run it's just physically not capable of doing the update, we'll obviously refund your purchase of safe upgrade. We're not into charging people for software they can't use. With that said, if you try to do this on your own and something goes wrong, the average repair ticket's about 2 hours of labor. That's $220. So in one way you can look at this like an insurance policy, it's $50, but it could save you from a $220 bill. On the other hand, you just want to make sure your data and everything is okay. So installing the safe upgrade is one way to make sure this update comes down and does well for you. So I'm not going to beat the drum, because obviously the drum's been beaten. We started with 1,000 copies of this, guys, and we're down to 56. This is the third time that we've offered safe upgrade. You have to buy a new one for each new update, because the fall upgrade from last year won't work for the fall of this year. You have to get the one for the 2018 October update. You can't run the one you bought last time, otherwise it won't work. So I'm just saying, if 1,044 people or 944 people have decided that this is a great thing to buy the third time around, that tells you something. So Schrock Safe Upgrade, you can only get it on our website, SchrockInnovations.com. You click on shop, you click on specials. If you do want to purchase it in the service center, we can help you through that, creating an account on the website in the service center, and we can process your credit card in the shop if you don't use your credit card online. Totally understand that. But you do have to download the product online and run it from the website. It's a self-service product. That's why it's $30 cheaper than just dropping your computer off and having us do it in the shop. 866-496-8772. Dale, Bonnie, David, your calls coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with a super duper 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 short segment because I went long. But let's jump into Dale. Dale, how can I help you today on Compute This?
Hi. Well, you kind of touched on my equipment quite a bit this morning. I got a old Toshiba Satellite 1800, probably 2004, 2005, running XP.
Okay.
That I got to keep going because I got some amateur radio equipment that was the last software XP that they made the
Right.
software for. Anyway, and I think, just to give you a heads up where I'm going with this, I think it's related to the clock or the CMOS battery. But it used to be, if I didn't use it for a long time, and I'd turn it on, I'd get an error that I'd have to go into F1 and go out of that. And then I'd always notice the clock was back to its original.
1947.
Yeah. And now it's getting so, it used to be if I left it on for a while, it's like it maybe recharged that battery or that capacitor up. And now it's gotten to the point where every time I turn it on, it errors. And that clock is a real critical function that I got to have.
I imagine so for radio, yeah. The clock is important.
Well, yeah, and it not just to look at, it's important because of the program. So my question is that a rechargeable battery in there? And I also had the actual laptop battery that failed probably 8 years ago. So it's never had that battery in it. I run it without it. I just plug it in. So is that battery a rechargeable, replaceable battery in there somewhere, or is it a super cap? And is it a soldered-in battery like some of the other equipment that I've had to replace?
On the older laptops, it's hard to say for certain. I know on all newer laptops they're removable, but it's probably a removable battery. Usually it cables on with a little 2-prong thing, and it's just like a CR2045 battery or something with two wires attached to it.
Okay.
So even if you had to, it sounds like you're pretty handy. If you had to make one, it probably wouldn't be tough. But the challenge here is the computer will get power to maintain its clock anywhere it can. It'll get it from the AC adapter. It'll get it from the internal, like the laptop battery, the actual Li-ion battery.
Right.
It'll get it from the CMOS battery as the last resort. The CMOS battery is not rechargeable. And so if you have a laptop that goes long periods of time without any power source, that will cause the CMOS battery to drain much more quickly than it would otherwise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so if you replace the CMOS battery, the odds of you in that laptop having to replace it again in a year are pretty good. So I would suggest if you replace the CMOS battery, see if you can get an aftermarket actual battery for the laptop. I know you don't use it on battery, but that'll help extend. That battery is rechargeable. It'll help extend the life of the CMOS battery.
Okay. Well, yeah, either that or I may run the cable. If it's cabled in, I may run the cables externally because I don't move the laptop anyway.
There you go. All right. Thank you for the call, Dale. I appreciate you joining us on the program today. All right. Bonnie, David, Sharon, D, stay on the line. Your calls coming up after the break. Stick with us, guys. Next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed Symantec endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the special section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Get this pro tip 423. Everyone knows you need an antivirus and firewall program for your computer, but which one is the best? Should you use the free ones, pay for a commercial product, or maybe even the free stuff your internet service provider gives you? The absolute worst thing you can do is to install nothing. Windows 10 comes with Windows Defender, but Microsoft never intended it to be your primary antivirus product. Free antivirus like AVG or Avast are more effective than Windows Defender, but Consumer Reports ranks the free antivirus products in the middle of the pack when compared to their commercial competitors. As for the free software from your internet provider, forget about it. It's designed to protect their network, not your computer. There are 2 products that trade the crown for best antivirus software year after year. Schrock recommends Symantec products like Endpoint, but the Russian-made Kaspersky antivirus program also does an outstanding job. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News Radio, I'm Debbie Hanley. President Trump is blasting media reports that claim the White House is limiting the current FBI investigation into the sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. The president tweeted last night that he hasn't placed any barriers on investigators.
Having them do a thorough investigation, I actually think will be a blessing in disguise. It'll be a good thing.
President Trump addressing a rally last night in West Virginia. A big scare in New York City yesterday. 60,000 people were attending a Global Citizens Festival in Central Park.
The collapse of a police barrier sending thousands of people fleeing in a panic, mistaking that noise for possible gunshots at a politically charged show. Authorities assuring the crowd they were safe.
Please, everybody, remain calm. Try and move backwards.
Fox's Paul Stevens. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
We'll be dealing with another day of on and off periods of rain showers across the metro on Sunday. Temperatures will struggle into the mid-50s as well. Once we get into the evening hours, we cannot rule out a few rumbles of thunder. Otherwise, rain will continue into Monday morning before clearing out by the afternoon. Highs then will top in the lower 70s. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, guys, welcome back. Halftime is over. We're in the second half of Compute This. 866-496-8772. We have a full bank of calls here. So, guys, we are going to get to these stories that I talked about the Facebook hack and my conspiracy theory behind that one. Also, how much does it cost you a year to charge your cell phone? So, I wonder how much that is. I suppose it depends on the size of your battery, wouldn't it? The hacky hack teenager, we're going to tell you what happened with him. Also, the FBI is not playing around anymore, sending people to prison for hacking or stealing documents, secrets, stuff like that. So if you were thinking about stealing some documents or secrets in a Snowden-like fashion, or of all the people, that girl named Reality Winner, you remember her? She stole a bunch of documents and she got caught, and her name was Reality Winner. I mean, wow. I mean, she was born before the whole reality show thing, so that's totally coincidence. But wouldn't it be funny if she was on a reality show and she won? Then she could be reality show winner, reality winner. These are the things I think about in my spare time. 866-496-8772. Let's jump back into those phones. Bonnie, how can I help you today on Compute This?
Oh, okay. Are you there?
I am here.
Okay. My icons are changed on me. I no longer have icons on the lower right-hand corner.
Okay.
They're all over my screen. That's one. And another, I've got new Java icons recently added. It says check for updates, configure Java, and about Java.
Okay.
Why did my icons, the positioning of my icons change?
Okay. So first of all, the icons that we're talking about, I want to make sure I understand that you're talking about the icons in the taskbar that are down by the clock in the lower right-hand corner?
Right, but they are not there.
Okay, is there a little arrow that you can click on, they call it a caret, like an upwards-facing arrow that you can click on to show the hidden icons?
Oh, the hidden icons are not hidden. They're all over my screen. I just have to scroll down.
The hidden icons are on the desktop?
Yes.
And you can scroll them?
Yes.
That is super weird. We have to be having a communication malfunction between the two of us here or something, because I've never the hidden icons in the system tray down there are you can't drag them out to the desktop.
I did not. It just was one day when I turned on my computer. It was like this.
Okay, Bonnie, are you a Schrock Desk subscriber?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Have you had your computer into us in the last 30 days?
Not in the
anything?
last 30 days, but recently.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of how I can get an excuse to give you a free Schrock Desk session to take a look at that, because I'm just curious to see it. You know, I might just be curious to see it. You know, the other thing too here is never fear, because it could be tomorrow or it could be next week. You're going to get a whole new version of Windows 10 anyway.
Right, that's what I was thinking. So that's why I was kind of holding off on.
And it's going to reset all of your stuff back to default. So. Okay. You have to, it'll set Edge as your default browser again, and then you have to go back and tell it, I don't want to use Edge because Edge is a piece of junk. I don't like it. I want to use Firefox or Chrome instead, and things like that.
What about the new Java icons?
Okay, are you a Secure Updater subscriber?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Secure Updater should be taking care of your Java for you. So I would double check that your Secure Updater is open and running. Now, the way to do that, ironically, is to right-click on the icon in the taskbar in the lower right-hand corner for Secure Updater. It's a shield with the letter U on it. There's also, when you install Secure Updater, a desktop icon. Right-clicking on that icon will not do anything, and double-clicking on that icon will not do anything for you. You have to right-click on the icon in the taskbar, and the reason we did that is the taskbar never changes.
Well, it did.
It never changes, and so we're like, well, the one place we can put the icon that it'll always be there is if it's Secure Updater is running, it's in the taskbar. So right now, let's if it's saying there's a Java update. Let's go ahead and open Secure Updater. Find any Secure Updater icon anywhere and double-click on it.
Here, Secure Updater, right here.
Okay.
It says Patcher Secure Updater.
It says Add?
Patcher. There's something about a patcher. I don't know what that was.
Well, that's not.
Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your computer?
Go ahead and click No on that one. That's not ours.
Oh, I just clicked yes.
Yeah, that's not ours. It might be actually. There was years ago, there was a patch we had to deploy to everybody for the old version of Secure Updater called Patcher. But that's been like 2007.
That's verified publisher Schrock Innovation.
Okay, so that's our patcher, but that's for the old version of Secure Updater. So now I know what we can do.
So what do I do with now?
When we open up today at noon, or if you're listening to the show on a Saturday, we open at 10. Go ahead and give us a call in the service center because you have Secure Updater and it's not updating your Java. That's a warranty.
Oh, okay.
See, I figured a way out to do it. There's always a way. Come on. So yeah, we can get connected to you over the Schrock desk under that warranty ticket, and then we can take a look at why your Secure Updater is not updating your Java because it should be, and then we can turn around and check and see what's going on with those icons down there for you while we're connected. Since we is
okay.
Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan. With the Secure Updater, because of the Secure Updater, it's giving me problems.
Exactly.
Do the Schrock desk.
Yep. Okay. There you go. There's always a way around it, Bonnie.
Okay. Thanks, Todd. I've got another problem, but I'll call in another day about that.
All right. Sounds good, Bonnie. Thank you for your call today. We appreciate you joining us on the show.
Bye.
All right. 866-496-8772. Bonnie's in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Let's see what David's got to say. David, how can I help you today on Compute This?
Well, I have a Secure Updater.
Okay.
But I get pop-ups that tell me that these different programs aren't updated.
Which programs are you getting pop-ups for?
Well, there's Adobe Flash Player.
Okay.
And Java doesn't update.
Okay.
And then I get CCleaner says it's quit. And then there's one little square pops up says invalid password.
Okay,
I don't
so
know what that's all about.
The invalid password is your Secure Updater trying to log in to do updates and telling you that whatever password was typed in is not valid. And so we need to do a password reset. So we'd be happy to help you with that in the service center, or you can go to secureupdater.com, and where you go to log in to your Secure Updater account, you can reset the password there. It sends an email to your email address. You click the link in the email, you type in a new password, and that will reset the password also for the Secure Updater program on your computer. On that box that says invalid password, if you click OK, it should open up the Secure Updater window asking you for the username and the password. Your username is just your email address that you used when you signed up for Secure Updater, and then the password is typically, if you set it up, it'll be whatever password you picked. If we set it up for you in the service center, a lot of times the default password that we put in there just to get it started is your cell phone number. So it'd be the area code 402 or whatever your area code is, and then the 7-digit number with no dashes or spaces or periods or anything. So you could try that for a password and see if that lets you in. Otherwise, you'll have to reset the password on the Secure Updater website. But then it'll go through. The reason that you're getting those pop-ups is because Secure Updater is not logged in for some reason. So we need to get it logged in. Once it's logged in, then it'll go through and do all the updates for you.
Well, when I click on that OK, it disappears, but that's all that happens.
Gotcha. So down in your lower right-hand corner by your clock, you'll notice there's a Secure Updater icon. It looks like a shield with the letter U. It'll probably be black because it's not logged in. Do you see it down there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and right-click on that for me.
I did.
And then at the top of that menu, it says Show Secure Updater. Left-click on Show Secure Updater. And this will open up the main Secure Updater window for you. where you can enter that username and password.
The old password?
Well, whatever password it's supposed to be. That's the problem. We don't know the right password. So if we assign the password, it's going to be one of your phone numbers with the area code and no dashes or periods. Unless you change the password, which we encourage everyone to do. If you change the password, then the password will be whatever you set it to, and we don't have the ability to see your password. It's for security reasons. That way, if we ever get hacked, nobody can get your password because they don't know it. We don't know it. But we can reset your password for you. So basically, like I said, the thing that we could do here is we need to reset the password. Is the fastest way to solve it. We can solve that for you either by calling into the service center. We can do it over the phone for you. I mean, I could do it on the radio for you, but broadcasting your password might not be the best plan. But because I can do it right here for you. But on the other hand, if you wanted to, you could also do it yourself on the Secure Updater website.
Okay.
All right, well, give us a call, David. If you still have trouble with that this afternoon, give us a call. We'll get that reset for you because you paid for Secure Updater, so we want to make sure you can use the service and get those updates that your computer needs.
Is it okay to go ahead and click on these like Java? And
I would not, because some of the reason they have Secure Updater is some of those pop-ups are fake. So I'm sure that you're behind on some things if Secure Updater is not running. The question is which one of those pop-ups are real and which ones are fake. All of them could be real, but we don't know. And honestly, if we wait or if you reset the password, you can fix it right now, and then Secure Updater will just do everything for you. Otherwise, if you wait till, like I said, we open Saturday at 10, Sunday at noon. If you wait a couple hours, we'll be open, and then we can just help you over the phone do that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. No worries, David. Thanks for the call today. All right. 866-496-8772. Sharon, you're next up on the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Good morning. I have a question. I just bought a new laptop at the Lincoln Service Center.
Thank you.
And when I was in there, it'll be in a couple of weeks. And I always listen on Sunday morning, and I hear you talk about the protection for the new upgrade. I believe they told me since I paid for the laptop and the data transfer that I don't have to worry about it because they'll make sure it's okay if it happens to come on before my new computer comes.
Great question.
Is that correct?
Great questions. And the answer is maybe.
Okay. See, I figured I'm in the 80% that would be safe.
Yep.
Which
is
pretty good.
The reason I'm saying maybe is because it takes us 14 business days to get a computer together for you, basically, from the point you order it to the point. That's about 3 weeks. So it all depends on when Microsoft releases this update. If Microsoft releases it tomorrow, the answer is yes. Well, of course, when you get a new computer from us, it is the latest of everything. We install all the updates. We're going to make sure you have the newest version of Windows 10. That's all going to be done from the out of the box for you. Now, if Microsoft releases this on Halloween instead, and you end up getting your computer the week before Halloween, well, obviously we couldn't do it for you because the update wasn't out. So then in that case, then you do need Safe Upgrade. So
okay, I think it's due I'm supposed to get the computer the 11th, I believe.
Gotcha. So
of October.
So roughly midway through the month is roughly 50-50. So that'd be a good question to ask when you pick up the computer. Is the other thing you could do, and this would probably require it'd save you $50, but it require a little extra phone work on your part.
I can do it.
If we call and tell you, hey, your computer's ready, come on in and pick it up. If you just didn't pick it up, until after I got on the radio and was like, oh my gosh, guys, do the update now, go, go, go. Then you could probably call back and say, hey, I want to come in and get my computer, but since it's a brand new computer, I just want to make sure it has that new version of Windows on it. And the guy in the shop will look over at the shelf and be like, sure, let me, it'll be ready. Give me like an hour.
Okay. Well, and I am going to be out of town for a few days after the 12th.
Okay.
And so I thought, I told them I don't care if I have the new one or not. My other one is working fine. It just was out of warranty and it was slower and it was 5 years old. So I decided to update. So I was thinking maybe I'll just take my chances and not buy the insurance, but at the same time, I want to make sure I have it. So that's why I wanted your input on that.
Oh, no worries at all. No worries at all. We'll get you taken care of, Sharon. Thank you very much for the call.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye
Have a
now.
great afternoon. All right.
I
And Ron had a similar question on Facebook. Your Papio store is working on my laptop. They said it needs to be replaced. We're looking to buy a new PC from you for our nonprofit. They're looking at the $599 boundless. With the new Windows upgrade coming out, should we wait until then? Well, here's the thing. Like I said, it takes 3 weeks, or roughly 14 business days. The odds of the update being out by the time you get your computer are really good. And if it is out by the time we build your computer, of course, we're going to put it in any new computer we build, we're going to put the update in the computer for you. So, Ron, you shouldn't need to wait or hesitate. Like I said, this update, I have a feeling last time they were having a lot of problems with the update and they pushed it. You might remember it wasn't the April update. It was supposed to come out in March, and then it got pushed to April, and it got pushed to the end of April. This time around, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to, because Microsoft seems a lot more solid about this one than they did the last one. I think it's going to be earlier in the month if I have to place a guess on it. So I would go ahead, Ron. No need to hesitate. If you want to hesitate and wait a little bit, you can. Then you risk getting snapped by the tariffs, though. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. All right. Can I buy 2 safe upgrade programs at once? Lee asks. Of course, Lee. When you go to the Schrock Innovations website, you can add it to your cart. You can change quantities in the cart. So you can buy 1, 2, 10, however many you need for however many computers you need to upgrade. All right, guys, we're going to take our final break of the program. Sharon, Dee, or should we already handle Sharon? Dee and Jim, stay on the line. Also, we're going to get to these stories here about my Facebook conspiracy theory. If you didn't hear about this, there was a hacker that was going to live stream deleting Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook account. He was going to live stream it on Facebook Live of him deleting Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook account. He said he could do it. And he's one of these guys that hunts bounties, basically. He finds computer bugs and software and then gets paid by the companies for telling them about this bug that could lead to this travesty. I think there's a little bit more to the story because Mark Zuckerberg's account never got hacked. The bounty hunter mysteriously decided to wait for some reason. And then we have a major announcement from Facebook about a data breach. So interesting stuff. I'm going to try to weave my conspiracy theory together for you when we come back next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff. And that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases, even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, guys. Welcome into Compute This. I'm glad you're joining us if you're just coming with us. And if you've been with us for the whole ride, I hope you've enjoyed it so far. We've had a lot of great callers today, which I don't know what's been going on the last few weeks. We haven't had a lot of callers. And I try to incentivize. I try to bribe people to call, and we just don't get a lot of callers, I guess. So we go on and we do our thing, but the callers are what makes the show. Anyone can listen to me all hour long. No Aftershock today. I got some places I got to get to right after the show today. So unfortunately, guys, no Aftershock. And of course, the one time I don't have time for an Aftershock, I've got lots of funny stories from the. So I'm going to save them for next week. You don't want to miss next week's Aftershock. I've heard some terms that I've never heard before in my life. Positive things used to describe us. All right. So you know what the internet is, right? And you know what Google is and Facebook and Amazon and all these companies. They're tracking us around the web using cookies. They're collecting all of our personal data like Facebook and the social network, all who our friends are. Just last week, Facebook got busted again. All right. So Facebook wants you to put two-factor authentication on your account. What that is you have you know what a password is, right? Well, when you go to log into your account, two-factor authentication, you type in your username, you type in your password, you click login, and then it sends a code to your phone, like through a text message, for example. And then there's a box that says enter the code from your phone, and you type in the code from your phone. That's one example of two-factor authentication. So just having the password's not enough. You also have to have your cell phone in your hand to log in. That stops the bad guys from logging into your account when you're not around. Well, Facebook has been taking the phone numbers that you provide. So you give them your cell phone number to send the text message to. They've been selling those phone numbers to robocall companies to market products to you. So there are, and that's particularly underhanded because they're saying for your own security, provide us with a phone number so that we can make your account secure. And then, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to sell it to everybody too. Whoopsies. But, you know, it's just that's the kind of stuff that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. And it's not just Facebook that's doing it, guys. Everybody does that kind of stuff. Google does it. Apple does it. Amazon certainly does it. You know, all the biggies do it. So wouldn't it be great if all of your personal data was held in like an enclosure? Like, think of it like a pod that holds all of your own personal information, and you control it all. And you can revoke access to it at any point in time to anyone. So in other words, you could provide a phone number for two-factor authentication, store it in your pod, and then that information could be accessed in an encrypted way to send messages by Facebook without ever providing Facebook with your actual phone number. All it would be doing is it's encrypted. So Facebook doesn't even get to see. Just like with your Secure Updater account, I said we can't see your password for security reasons. Well, this would be like we can't see your name for security reasons. We can't see your phone number. We can't see your email address. All that's stored in a nice little enclosed pod, and you control it all. Now, you can allow people to see it and monetize it. Of course, if you, and then, you know, because that's the thing. If you put it all in a pod, all Google has to do is put out a new toy and say, if you want access to our new toy, it'll allow us to have access to your pod. And half the people on the internet would be like, that's okay. And they just click it and they give people access to it. But here's the difference. If you have a pod, you can control how it's accessed. You can revoke access. You can see every time Google accesses it, what they're accessing it for, and you can charge Google to access it. Because Google's making money off your data. Shouldn't you be getting a cut? That's what the founder of the internet believes. And his startup company named Interrupt, and of course it's spelled in that wonderful internet way, INTRUPT, Interrupt. I guess there were fewer R's and E's available. So it's Interrupt, INT. It's INT. I'll put it in Facebook here. www.INR. See, I even have to look. UBT.com. Interrupt.com. There we go. I popped it on Facebook there in the show, so you can take a look at it if you're interested. But Interrupt is this guy's vision for the internet. And this will upend every single business model on the internet, because you would not believe the amount of revenue that these companies derive by selling your personal information. It will completely destroy business models. It'll completely destroy the advertising model on the internet, because if you can't track people and micro-target the ads like Google does and charge just a huge amount of money to do, well, all of a sudden Google has to just carpet bomb everybody. And Google doesn't want to, people don't want to pay to advertise to people who don't want to see the ad. So the cost per impression goes down, you know, things like that start happening. And you're going to see a complete change of the internet if something like this catches on. So it's definitely something to look into. It's going to be released this week, is my understanding. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to take, but if it does take, and Google and Facebook and Amazon, those guys don't find a way to stop it, this is going to be huge. So here's the deal. This guy says on a live stream, he is going to hack Mark Zuckerberg's account on Facebook Live. And he gives a time. Tune in at this time. It's like an episode of Batman. Same bad time, same bad channel. Tune in next week. And all of a sudden, like an hour before it happens, he announces he's postponing the live stream. He can access and delete Zuckerberg's account, but he's postponing the live stream while Facebook addresses the glitch, basically. Not like 2 hours later, there is a post. Facebook discloses network breach affecting 50 million user accounts. Facebook said attackers exploited a vulnerability in its code that let them steal access tokens when users switched over to public profile view via the View As feature. All right. So when you look at your Facebook page, that's not what everybody else sees. You see a different page than everybody else sees. So sometimes it's nice to see what your Facebook page would look at if you were not you, like if the general public sees it. So Facebook put a View As feature there. You click View As, and you can view it as the general public and see what your page looks like. Make sure that your security settings are set right, things like that. Well, people who did that, it creates an access token. That access token got compromised, and 50 million people apparently have clicked that button. So anyone who's clicked that button, which Mark Zuckerberg has clicked that button. I mean, come on. So is this how the hacker was going to access Mark Zuckerberg's account and delete it? I don't know that it's a coincidence that these two things happened less than 4 hours apart. But basically, it was another punch in the face for Facebook. It's a code glitch, guys. I mean, this kind of stuff is going to happen with code. The code that runs these sites is incredibly complicated. Anything can be hacked given enough. It's like a safe. They tell you there is no safe that's impervious. Any safe can be accessed given enough time and enough resources. So, any safe guy will tell you that there is no such thing as a perfectly safe. All right, final call of the show here. We got 30 seconds. D, how can I help you on Compute This today? D, are you there?
I am.
Is this D?
This is D.
All right, what can I do for you, D? I got about 20 seconds.
Okay, Thor, I just want to compliment Brian at Village Point Store.
Oh, thank you.
I picked up my tower from a maintenance checkup, and I had trouble getting one of my cords connected, and it was almost closing time, and he asked me where I lived, and I told him, and he said, I'll stop on my way home.
Oh, well, thank you so much for letting me know, D. I appreciate it. That's Brian's first compliment, new guy over at Omaha. Today's winner is David. Congratulations, David. We'll get you that certificate, and we'll see you all again next Sunday for another exciting edition of Compute This.
From the Millard Roofing Studios, we've got you covered. This is News Radio.